come.
Yeah, please come, Urmi.
Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon, Urmi. Please sit down.
Thank you.
So, Urmi, please introduce yourself to the panel.
My name is Urmi Sinha. I come from Howrah, West Bengal. I completed my graduation in political science honors from St. Xavier's College, Kolkata in the year 2023. Uh, I'm a hardworking, focused, and a person who believes in perseverance. And so, in my free time, I like to pursue activities such as hot yoga, playing chess, and watching cricket.
So, Urmi, you have just walked out of your graduation and entered the civil services fray. Why did you not think of doing some post graduation and add some more value to your qualifications?
So I had decided that I would like to join the civil services at a very young age when I was in school. So I thought as soon as I become eligible, I should appear for it.
All right. So, as I also see that though you are from West Bengal, what is wrong with West Bengal that you did not choose that cadre as your first choice?
So nothing's wrong per se. Uh, I have been born and brought up in West Bengal. I did my schooling, graduation, everything entirely in West Bengal. So I thought if my area of work would at least be different, I would get to see another state of this beautifully diverse country.
Excellent. So, which state are you vying for? First choice?
Is Maharashtra.
Maharashtra is your first choice. So, anyway, but we'll discuss something about West Bengal. The summit, Global Investor Summit, was held about, I think, a month ago. You think that the outcome of that summit has been very, you know, very forthcoming, very good, or do you think it was just a very uh, damp affair?
So this was not the first investor summit. We've held annual investor summits for the past 7 years, and the state has attracted around 9 lakh crore rupees, out of which 3 lakh crore, more than 3 lakh crore rupees worth of investment have already taken place in the
Are you
state.
sure about what, 9 lakh crore or was it less?
So as far as I can recall, it was a
Okay,
little over 9 lakh crore.
all right. So, how, in what manner, industrial relations situation has improved in West Bengal that the government, the state is pitching for, investments in manufacturing and other areas?
So the main focus of the West Bengal government in reviving industrialization in the state has been with respect to IT. And there have been 22 IT parks that have been established in the state with state of the art infrastructure. So this is one thing that is attracting a lot of industries. And so recently, I think in the last, in 2024, one semiconductor company from the US also expressed interest in establishing its
All
plant.
right. So, Urmi, let's talk about something on political science. So, there has been a petition in the Supreme Court to extend the ban on the political, the those who contest the elections. Today it is 6 years. So the petition is for asking for permanent ban if the person is convicted. Now, what has been the government stand, the central government stand so far, and what is your stand?
So the center has presented its case in the Supreme Court that 6 years, according to it, is a reasonable deterrence and limitation, which stands the test of reasonability and proportionality. Uh, so I believe that in cases of heinous crimes such as rape, murder, which involve it can be worked out with deliberations, which involves a higher quantum of punishment. I think a lifetime ban can also be considered.
What do you have to say about the petition filed against the Uniform Civil Code in Uttarakhand? Any idea what are the grounds?
So can I take a guess? Can I take a guess?
Yeah, yeah. No, guess. Just try. Let's see how which side you move.
So is it with respect to the mandatory registration for live-in relationships?
No, I mean, don't ask me questions.
Okay. No, so this is my
You
guess.
can only tell.
So this is my
Don't ask
guess.
me.
So this is my guess
This
that
is your
it is.
guess. All right,
Yes.
let's go to some other. So, let's talk about the international scenario. Now, European Union is in a different setup altogether, isolated by US, I mean, the Russia, by America. They are fending for themselves in terms of security, in terms of economy. US is coming with directives every day against India also. Russia is our old friend, but still they are also bound by certain international rules and regulations. And China is our supposed to be not a good friend. Now, in these circumstances where the global order is all disrupted, what should be India's stand vis-a-vis these countries? You can tell one by one.
So India, like it always has, should remain its strategic autonomy and at the same time pursue multi-alignment and multilateralism. With respect to EU, we should try to further our trade relationship, which we are trying already through the negotiation for FTA. So, with respect to Russia, uh, we have increased our trade relationship with respect to crude oil. And in the Russia Ukraine war, India can also vouch for a place at the negotiating table because of its fairly good relationship with both the countries. So, with respect to China, there has been de escalation of the conflict in the Galvan Valley. And there have been talks about increasing trade ties, Mansarovar Yatra, and journalistic ties also. So, with respect,
To
so
US.
US. So, with respect to the US, of course, with the coming of the Trump administration 2.0, there has been uh, increased uncertainty. But with Prime Minister Modi's visit to the US and the bilateral meetings that took place, it seems that both the countries are on a steady path to increase their technological trade and uh, relationship on emerging technologies such as AI, quantum technology, etc.
Thank you, Urmi.
Thank you, sir. Urmi, tell me few good examples of e-governance because you did some project on e-governance.
Yes.
Tell me where do you see good examples in government of India?
So there is the Jandan Aadhaar Mobile Trinity, which has enabled
Yeah,
disintermediation.
okay, good. What
Yes, sir.
else? Tell me.
So there is the PM Gati Shakti portal, which has streamlined infrastructure projects and inter-ministerial coordination in infrastructure
Good.
development. So there is the Umang platform, which is an example of mobile governance, which enables the beneficiaries to get all the relevant information about the different welfare schemes at one place.
And
So,
Pragati, you have heard Pragati?
yes, sir.
What is Pragati?
So Pragati is a platform whereby the government of India and the Prime Minister himself takes a keen interest in the different developmental projects that are taking place in the different districts of the country uh, and asks for periodic reviews and appraisals of those projects.
Okay. Urmi, can you tell me few grassroots level government functionaries, grassroots level functionaries, which are working right at the absolutely grassroots level, village level, even. Can you name few designations?
So they are the members of the Panchayati Raj institutions. So in the health sector, there are ASHA workers,
Yeah, that is tell me a few more. Asha, yes, you are right.
Anganwadi workers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so there are different in the health sector. We have the different technicians, nurses, doctors. So I cannot
Okay.
recall the exact
What is the role of
designations.
Patwari? Have you heard of this term Patwari?
So I think it is related to revenue collection.
Now, as Mr. Shri B.R. Ambedkar, he said Which article was, in his opinion, heart and soul of Constitution?
So Article 32.
32. Okay. And tell me, which is the unique feature of Indian Constitution? Because it is said that most of the things in Indian Constitution have been borrowed from different constitutions of the world. But is there anything which is unique to Indian Constitution, which is original, which is not borrowed from any other country?
So we have definitely borrowed uh,
Tell me one,
okay,
one or two which are unique. I mean, which are not borrowed from any other place.
so can I take a moment?
Please.
So I cannot recall. So we have adapted it to Indian context, a lot of things.
Okay, no problem. Now, Trump had made many, announcements. He took so many decisions. One of the announcements was that drilling on more oil, baby drill, he said like that.
Yes.
So, how do you think it will impact India?
So on the positive side, we can see that we will be able to diversify our oil and natural gas imports, and we're also trying to increase the share of natural gas in our energy mix to 15%. So it will help us on that side. However, on the negative side, not just in India, but on the global climate deals that we have had, it would have an adverse effect because it encourages fossil fuels.
Fossil. Okay. Now, my last question would be chess. You are a chess player.
So amateur, I just play for as a hobby.
As a hobby. Okay, no problem. But you know the
Yes,
game.
yes.
Yeah. So how do you think the learning of chess and playing of chess, you have developed some skill sets which would be helpful in your career as civil servant? Can you identify a few?
So chess and administration, I think, have very strong parallels. In chess, also, we don't have to just think about what is going to be our next move. We have to contemplate of how that move will be perceived by our opponent and prepare ourselves for the wide variety of moves that can that can use as a counter against us. So in administration, also I feel that before making any policy or bringing out a scheme, I think we should.
Who will be your right opponent? Who will be your opponent in chess civil services? You're right that you have to plan
Yes.
how opponent would. So who will be your opponent in civil services?
So in the game of chess, we have opponents, but in civil services, we'll have a lot of stakeholders,
Yeah.
and we will have to.
Okay. Right. Thank you, Urmi. I pass on to next one.
So, Urmi, let's talk about the economy. We are looking at a situation wherein rupee is continuously slipping. What are the possible reasons for this phenomenon?
So, like, there are a few reasons, not one. So, first is the strengthening of the US dollar, which has led to FPI outflows from the country. So, second is the reduced growth rate in the second half of the financial year 2025 that we witnessed, which has reduced investor confidence to some extent. And so, one more reason was that FPI outflows have also taken place because the investors have been able to book satisfactory profits. So, I think these are the possible reasons.
So, should we be worried about the FPIs or FIs moving out of the country?
So at the same time, while FPIs have moved out of the country, so we have also witnessed record inflows of FPIs and FDIs. So I think it is a simultaneous process that is occurring, and definitely we can work on improving our regulatory environment, our business environment, so that more FPIs can come in. But we should. It is not a very grave cause of concern.
It is not a cause of concern. All right. Now, let's talk about India's foreign policy. We look at a situation wherein we are not sharing cordial relations with some of our neighbors, be it Bangladesh. We have some conflicts with Nepal also. So, is it a failure of our neighborhood first policy? How do you look at it?
So in recent times, the frictions that India has witnessed with some of its neighbors, be it Bangladesh or Maldives. So it is. I do not see it as a failure of the neighborhood first policy, but rather uh, an outcome of the domestic policies of those countries. But in the long term, the foreign policies of all these countries are driven by their national interests. For instance, Maldives also warmed up, and there was a rapprochement after a few months after President Mizu was sworn in. So I think in the long run, the neighborhood policy is definitely working. We're also working on connectivity projects with these countries. So I think so it is not a failure.
And but there is this big brotherly image of India, which is not in a positive light, of course, in countries like Nepal. So how do you think it should be taken care of by India? Can we do anything about it?
So, because of the structural asymmetry of the subcontinent, India definitely has a greater role, be it in the economy, the polity, the military, a more dominant position vis-a-vis its other neighbors. And some of its policies, for instance, there have been allegations of India's involvement in the 2015 blockade in Nepal. So this has led to certain negative sentiments in these countries with respect to, as you very rightly mentioned, the big brotherly attitude. But sir, to counter this, we can definitely engage our people-to-people ties. We can work on human development projects in these countries, on infrastructure projects like the Greater Mali Connectivity Project in Maldives, which would help us counter this.
Okay. Now, when we talk about Bangladesh's current situation, most people say that it is temporary and we should wait for the new government to come. But they are changing their history only. They are engaging with Pakistan increasingly, and it has become a big security concern for India. So, do you also suggest the same thing that we should wait and watch?
So the argument that we should wait and watch has certain backing because this is an interim government, and the long-term policies of the state will only be made clear to us when an elected government takes place, is sworn in. However, I think we should work on back channel diplomacy at least with the parties which have secured a place in the interim government to ensure that India has a good position when an elected government is sworn in.
All right. So, you come from state of West Bengal, and there are always some news of not so cordial relations again between the center and the state government. Is it, are there some real issues at hand, or is it the political issues only that are being highlighted or that become the reason of the conflict?
So the major issue is that the ruling party and the party at the the ruling party at the center and that at the state government have been different and have been different for a lot many years now. So this creates a tussle between the office of the governor and the chief minister. This is definitely a political reason. However, there are other reasons also. For instance, the center has flagged certain irregularities in the schemes, such as PM Awas Yojana. Uh, and has stopped the flow of central funds to the state government. So this has also emerged as an issue of a bone of contention between the two parties.
Okay. One last question about Hatha Yoga. What that you are interested in, right? How do you define Hatha Yoga?
So Hatha Yoga is a form of yoga which involves a holistic practice of physical postures, that is asanas, breathing practices, pranayams, and also a little bit of meditation. And the etymology of the word comes from her, which means sun, and her, which means moon. So it is a union of the masculine and feminine energies that are both present in any individual.
And how meditation is involved in this?
So first is we meditate in the posture itself while we are holding it for longer periods of time, and the other is the conventional form of meditation.
Meditation, you mean concentration?
So it is beyond concentration.
It is beyond.
Yes, sir. Uh, it leads to the ultimate objective of meditation is the union of man to God, man with God. So it is more than concentration, but it starts with
All right.
concentration.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Urmi, you are a student of political science.
Yes.
So, which political thoughts attracts you?
So, if you go to the traditional contract theorists, I am very attracted to the philosophy of John Locke because he's the father of modern liberalism, and all the liberal democratic countries, especially, ultimately draw their philosophies from his ideology.
So, coming on the issue of announcement of freebies during election, so can you suggest some ways uh, wherein voters are not lured by the announcement of freebies?
So, first, I would like to point out that freebies and welfare schemes cannot be put into watertight compartments. And the Supreme Court has also held that announcement of freebies is, in a way, advancing the mandate given to the government under the DPSPs. So, I think, sir, we cannot curb them completely, but the party, whichever party is promising a freebie, should lay it down very clearly that what are the objectives that it wants to achieve. And there can also be an oversight mechanism through which the burden on the financial exchequer of the state can be ascertained. Right.
So, Urmi, you were the finalist of policy presentation on e-governance. So, first of all, what are the parameters of good governance?
So it should be participatory, consensus oriented, accountable, transparent, responsive, efficient, uh, effective. So these are the ones that I.
So, tell me role of artificial intelligence in governance.
So artificial intelligence, first of all, will help us in the automation of routine tasks. So second, through large language models, we can make our policies, our laws more accessible to the people through translations using apps such as AI Bhashini. We can use it in predictive analysis. Uh, in the judiciary also there's considerable use in the form of translations and also uh, bringing all the precedents in one place and helping in uh, effective and speedy disposal of cases.
Urmi, have you heard of PLI scheme?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so is it successful? Tell me something about it.
As suggested by recent reports, the PLI scheme has had a differential impact on different sectors. In some sectors, such as the production of smartphones and electronic goods, it has been fairly successful. But in others, such as automobiles or food processing, it has not been able to play that bigger role.
My last question, Urmi, is on a hobby of watching cricket. So, how women's IPL is shaping women's cricket in India?
So women's IPL, first of all, increases the popularity of women's cricket in India. And in the latest edition, we are seeing that even a city like Baroda, where cricket is not that popular, uh, substantial amounts of crowd have shown up. Second, it provides exposure to our young Indian players, playing with superstars of women's cricket all around the world. And so thirdly, it will also help in generating more revenue, so which could be plowed back to promoting international women's cricket.
Thank you, Urmi. I pass on to Chairman, sir.
So, Urmi, uh, we have asked you quite a few questions from your DAF. In case you think that something from your DAF has still been missed out by us, I can ask you one last question.
No, sir, I think it has been fairly covered.
All right. So, thank you, Urmi. We are over with the interview. We will call you again after a while, 2 minutes. Till such time, you can wait in the next room. Please sit down.
Thank you.
So, Urmi, this is your first time UPSC interview? First attempt also?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So, how was your interview today?
So I felt, so I've given 2 marks before. I think this was better than them.
This is good. What improvement you saw, and what is still to be done?
So there's always more to be done.
Hmm?
There's always more to be
That's
done.
right.
So, so I think brushing up on
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's very nice. And Urmi, you have a lot of time also, but you are shaping very well. You're very bright, and the panel is quite impressed with your overall.
Thank you.
Your knowledge, your depth of knowledge, the content, your grip on the current affairs, international matters. I was very impressed with the way you, in a very concise and short and brief manner, you covered all the countries and India's, how India is reacting to all these changes and how India should continue with that. It was excellent, very nice. Uh, find some good reasons for not choosing West Bengal, as your choice, because there are already many, uh, hawks, uh, hawkish kind of feeling for West Bengal because of various reasons.
So could you suggest something how I should frame this answer? So this is something, this is the answer that I've given at other places also, and this is the genuine answer. So if I could shape it in a more convincing manner.
So you have no connection with Maharashtra whatsoever? It's
No, sir.
totally on merit.
Yes, sir. No connection
And
at
which
all.
is your base? Your Bengal is your domicile also.
Yes, everything. Yes.
So what is the internal thing that you decided in favor of any other state than West Bengal?
So because I've lived all my life in West Bengal, and my mother
No,
has
see,
lived in other places.
you said you gave a particular version in the interview. Now we are in the informal session. Are you looking for a better administered state,
So,
or are you looking for a change?
so for a change,
So if change, then why Maharashtra? Why
yes.
not closest Bihar? Not away from home, from east to west.
So Maharashtra, because it's a large state and there are varied challenges. Uh, I will get more
You will have a lot
opportunities.
of debate on this. Be ready
Yes.
for it. You are a good debater. You have been very nice in discussion also.
I'll work.
But you can say, ki, sir, see what the situation you are in is more or less the situation which I had in my time. I had a domicile of Madhya Pradesh, right? And I opted for Rajasthan. And like a young boy, or you're you're still younger, there were not many reasons why I'm choosing Rajasthan. I knew why I'm choosing Rajasthan, but I didn't know why I'm not choosing Madhya Pradesh. So it's just that I don't like Madhya Pradesh. And then I, sensibly, when I went more deeper, I realized that I was told rather that if you stay in your own state, you get to be a little biased. Your friends, your relations, your people, your teachers, everyone may. I didn't know at that time. I can't say that that was the basis, because people were disturbing me and this that. Nobody was. You are still not in the IAS, so one is this, which I generally considered, and I realized that it was correct. My decision of uh, changing the state where you have lived throughout and going to a new pasture, where you can start afresh. That could be one logic that you can give. Why you choosing Maharashtra would be in the sense that Maharashtra is a large state.
That's yes.
It has multifarious opportunities, which it has. You have the financial capital in Bombay, you have, Vidarbha, less developed area, you have water problem, you have, all kinds of international exposure when you are in Bombay and all. So that could be your choice.
Yes, sir.
And that was your choice. So
Yes.
be ready with the good features of Maharashtra.
Yes.
Don't compare Maharashtra and West Bengal.
Yes.
If there are any questions, the West Bengal is also promising. You have Calcutta here, you have Bombay there. So stick to your point.
Hmm.
And if you clarify right in the beginning, he said, I wanted to start afresh without any past prejudices,
Hmm.
which I may have to confront,
Hmm.
as many people have said this,
Okay. Yes.
that if you are in the home cadre, there are more susceptibilities and the probabilities of influence, some influence of some kind, which can kind of change, maybe which can deter you. So that's it. I think इससे अच्छा तो कोई विदाउट क्रिटिसाइजिंग कि नहीं वो बंगाल तो मुझे छोड़ना है बिल्कुल
हाँ.
यूजलेस है, ठीक है ना. यू कैंट से दैट. सो यू आर डूइंग वेरी गुड उर्मी, एंड लेट्स हियर अदर मेंबर्स.
I think Urmi, nothing more to add. You're a very bright candidate. Your personality is very good. You are very confident, relaxed, energetic. You didn't show any sign of nervousness. So that is a very good thing. And of course, there are some gaps in knowledge that you will, of course, you still have time. Almost 1.5 months is there. So just bridge up those gaps.
Yes.
Keep reading newspapers,
Hmm.
especially all issues related to your DAF.
Yes.
Everything related to your DAF. Okay. Now Maharashtra will also, because since you have opted for Maharashtra, so there can be a lot of some comparison between Maharashtra and West Bengal on various socio-economic parameters. So I'm sure we will do well, Urmi. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
So, same here, Urmi. You have balanced personality, which is good, and confidence, good communication skills. When it comes to your DAF, especially your state, cover all the related issues, be it north, south, uh, gap of development and divide, right? Be it the role of West Bengal in Bangladesh's international relations with Bangladesh, right? And center-state conflict will be a major area of interest for you because you come from the state. So all such areas anticipate and keep revising and covering, right? And
Yes.
be up to date with current affairs till the date of your PT, right?
So, Urmi, I think all points have been covered. So, same opinion, good communication, good personality. You performed well. In my areas, your answers were also okay. So, I'm sure you will do well. Wish you all the best.
Any questions, Urmi? Any more questions?
So, were they crisp? Were my answers crisp?
Yeah, you were concise and
Because
you
I
were.
was given this feedback.
No, you
early.
were not wrong. You contained your answers in whatever was required, and in fact, I was impressed with the concise, how briefly you covered all the countries and India's position. That was one kind of indication that you were brief and to the point. Another thing, I was just thinking about your selecting Maharashtra. Just keep in mind, maybe, sir, I would, since Maharashtra is your first state and Gujarat is your second.
Second is Rajasthan.
Second is Rajasthan.
So the cadre policy is like that.
IAS में अच्छा अच्छा.
उसके बाद फिर जोन जो
हाँ नहीं, वो जोन में
हाँ.
हमारे टाइम भी जोन ही था. वापस 40 साल बाद वहीं आ गए. हाँ, अच्छा.
हाँ. So second preference in the zone, and there the first preference becomes your
मुझे
second
तो
preference.
गुजरात दिख रहा है आपका सेकंड.
Sir, so the first preference of the zone is the west zone, where the first preference is Maharashtra. So it becomes my first preference. Then, sir, it goes to my second zone preference.
अच्छा ऐसे जाता है.
Ah,
ओह, which is
Rajasthan. Right?
अरे वो तो पुलिस का है. मैं तो तुम्हें आईएएस में जाना है, आईपीएस में जाना है?
First preference IAS है.
तो वही मैं आईएएस ही देख रहा हूँ.
हाँ.
अच्छा
सेम ही वैसे मैंने रखा है IAS IPS का.
अच्छा, जोन 2 का राजस्थान.
हाँ.
आई थॉट दैट हमारे टाइम में ये था कि एक जोन में महाराष्ट्र, फिर गुजरात,
हाँ.
फिर छत्तीसगढ़, मध्य प्रदेश, फिर ऐसा नहीं.
नहीं.
चलो, वी हैड अ डिफरेंट सिस्टम. ठीक है, तो आप कह सकती हो कि आई वांटेड टू गो फ्रॉम ईस्ट टू वेस्ट. Maharashtra, I've seen this part of India. I wanted to
Yes.
be exposed to the western part of.
Hmm.
So, Urvi, we have given you 66% today.
Hmm.
You're doing very well. You are young. It's your first attempt. You will get an extra edge for being your first attempt and being so good in the interview. And just don't leave this opportunity. है ना? कोई संविधान में नहीं लिखा है कि आईएएस 4 अटेम्प्ट में ही होता है, पहले में भी हो जाता है. ठीक है,
ठीक.
ऑल द बेस्ट.